Hello, and welcome to the Demon's Forge. This episode I shall be presenting my deck tech for Quintorius Field Historian. Let's start off with the commander. Quintorius is a 2/4 Elephant Cleric for 3 red-white. Passively he confers a +1/+0 buff to all spirits you control. He also has a triggered ability that says whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. For this deck, I have an imposed simple restriction in addition to the normal commander construction rules, and that is all cards must be commons and uncommons. I also tried to focus on Spirit and Cleric Tribal as a pseudo backbone as well. As Quintorius is an uncommon legendary, it felt appropriate to build a deck that would be relatively on par with him, with the advantage of being a good budget for others to build and expand upon. Rarity downshifted cards are also allowed in the restriction in a similar vein to cards available in the Pauper format. Without further ado, let's explore the tech of this deck. The primary source of power in this deck is from the spirits it can get into play. Fuming Effigy and Stonebound Mentor have similar triggered abilities to Quintorius. Effigy pings each opponent, while Mentor will allow you to scry one. Blood Age General and Usher of the Fallen are warriors who reward you for getting into combat, where all Boros decks find themselves. The General buffs your attacking spirits by +1/+0, while Usher rewards you with an additional body on the field for the next combat phase. While the token made by Usher is not itself a spirit, an additional body on the field can incrementally make the difference. We also have some non-creature spells that generate as spirit tokens. Valor of the Worthy and Make Your Mark provide a buff to your creatures, with Valor providing a 1/1 spirit when enchanted creature dies, while Mark replaces its target with a 3/2. Spectral Reserves and Spirit Summoning create us the same tokens, with Reserves picking us up with extra 2 life, which may not seem like much, but remember, winning at 1 life is the same as winning at 1,000,000 life. Drogskull's Shieldmate can also flash in to provide a buff to all our creatures' toughness in a pinch. Clerics are primarily utility, but this doesn't mean they're not valuable. At the beginning of your combat, Combat Professor provides a +1/+0 and Vigilance buff to any creature until end of turn. Being able to swing but still defend yourself is a great advantage. Some of the more utility clerics include Doomscar Oracle, Mother of Runes, and Leonin Relic Warder. Oracle gives us some repeatable life gain, while Mother protects. Relic Warder is useful temporary removal. Boros isn't known for its ability to ramp, but here are a few ways we can try to correct that. For starters, we have Marble and Fire Diamond alongside Pillar of Origins. The diamonds are a good nudge of ramp, and Pillar of Origins can help us have the right mana for either our clerics or our spirits, whichever is in hand. The much preferred way I like my mana is to consistently hit my land drops, which we can achieve with cards like Renegade Map, Environmental Sciences, and Wildfield Scarecrow. The map can be dropped turn 1 and activated before our turn 2 draw step, ensuring even a 1-land hand can landfall consistently. Environmental Science and the Scarecrow do similar, one at sorcery, but the Scarecrow also works well as a roadblock to our opponents while fetching us 2 basics. Pilgrim of the Ages and Emissary of Sunrise are 2 more creatures that can help thin our deck of lands, with the Emissary even giving us a chance to put something into the graveyard for us to use later, and the Pilgrim can return multiple times over the course of a game. All these useful spells mean nothing if we don't draw them, so what do we have access to for that? Thrill of Possibility allows us to discard a card and draw 2 at instant speed, while Culling Diaz, Spell Satchel, and Jaime Tome can stick around and seek excess or unused mana into drawing more cards. Or we could play a more reckless game and use You Found Some Prisoners to snatch a powerful card at the top of an opponent's deck. But what other spells are we drawing into? Angelic Purge, Valorous Stance, Swords to Plowshares, and Ride Down allow us to pick off troublesome creatures, with Purge also targeting enchantments and artifacts. When our opponents are going wide, use Bond of Discipline and Slaughter the Strong to make short work of their field. Bond can even be a good finisher if you manage to build up a suitable board presence as well, or ensure that your life total has a comfortable buffer. Faith Unbroken serves a duo purpose. It can remove a creature until it leaves, or putting a strong buff on one of our own, possibly something we want to swing with. Thanks to War of the Spark, we have a number of Planeswalker allies, and I think they are a great place to start talking about the various small-scale combos this deck has to offer. Nahiri Storm of Stone applies a useful buff of First Strike to all our creatures during our turn. This will make our opponents be cautious as they block our creatures, especially when Quintorius and Blood Age General are in play. Her -X ability can also be spot removal to small threats on the board we don't want outstaying their welcome. Teo, the Shield Mage, is a good early game ally to slow down aggressive decks and give us protection via hexproof. 0/3 walls can at least soak some of the damage that may roll towards us. Jaya, Venerated Fire Mage, increases the damage of our red sources, whether they be permanents or spells. This works great for cards like Nahiri, but also other repeatable damage cards like Makeshift Munitions, Gibbering Fiend, and Chandra, Novice Pyromancer. Chandra may seem out of place with her +1 caring only about elementals, but her -1 provides unrestricted mana, and her -2 is a repeatable shock, which becomes a bolt under Jaya. Then there is the Wanderer, who outright negates any burn spells targeted at us. This is an important ability when we have Justice in play, as we don't want to be punished for dealing damage with our own creatures and spells. We also have a wide variety of cards that work fantastically with Quintorius, Fuming Effigy, and Stonebound Mentor when cards leave our battlefield. A fantastic combo is Returned Passcaller and Graceful Reprieve. Targeting Passcaller with Reprieve, Passcaller will return to the battlefield if it wasn't exiled, trigger its ETB to fetch Reprieve back to our hand. When Quintorius is in play, that's 2 3/2 Spirit tokens each time, additional damage from Fuming Effigy, and invaluable card selection with Stonebound Mentor. There is also even more repeatable triggered abilities on Epitaph Golem, Cogwork Archivist, Griff's Boon, and Skyblade's Boon. The former two allowing us to make repeated use of our entire deck, while the boons provide evasion and extra damage. Then we have some one-time effects from Late to Dinner, Disciple of the Sun, Not Forgotten, and Getting Cleric Class to level 3, all of which get us something back from the graveyard, but only Not Forgotten will put the card into our library. Cleric Class also works well when opponents are forced to attack you with Trove of Temptation. Now why would we do this? Well, with Righteous Cause on the field, each attack by an opponent, even when they're not swinging at us, gain us life. 2 life per creature when Cleric Class is in play, and providing an abundance of +1/+1 counters on our creatures at level 2. Daxos, Blessed by the Sun, provides more life gain and a sturdy blocker. Nihilith Pilgrim, when combined with our Gibbering Fiend and Fuming Effigy, provides even more life gain to sustain us. Lightning Helix and Foundry Helix are more spells that benefit from Jaya. Foundry Helix can enable some death triggers, such as from Relic Vial to whittle down our opponents, itself a potential source of card draw, or we could sacrifice redundant mana filters like Prophetic Prism or Terrarian. Aside from Chandra, all our Planeswalkers will have a tough time gaining loyalty, so it would be critical to get Graceful Apparition through to deal damage. Once counters start being placed, however, Apparition will become even more important, so we can protect it or another creature with Long Road Home. Trial of Zeal and Trial of Solidarity have their own places in the game plan. Zeal can be dropped early to remove a small but threatening target, and Solidarity can make a single combat phase leave a devastating mark on our opponents. For now, Cartouche of Zeal is in the deck to allow the trials to be reused. This deck has a simple suite of utility land and mana fix: Blighted Steppe, Emergent Zone, Axguard Armory, Blighted Gorge, Forgotten Cave, Secluded Steppe, Lorehold Canvas, Sunhome, Fortress of the Legion, and Field of Ruin all have fantastic abilities for this deck to make use of. Command Tower, Boros Garrison, Temple of the False God, Unclaimed Territory, Windscarred Crag, Boros Guildgate, Archway Commons, Stone Quarry, Warped Landscape, Terramorphic Expanse, Ocean Verge, Rocky Tar Pit help ensure our deck further has all the colours to hand, or can get a hold of the basics. For basics, we lean towards the white side more, as a majority of our spells are white mana. Quintorius is clearly not a powerhouse, but across the games I've fielded him in, I've had a great deal of fun, and not gone down without a fight. This deck reflects my personal collection, but I'm sure a lot of the older cards can still be acquired at a reasonable price. If there are cards you think would be better suited for the deck, let me know in the comments below. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and that you'll subscribe for more Magic the Gathering content, along with Transformers and Wargaming videos.